and welcome to another episode of Witch Chat Chats, sponsored by Evermoving We Rise and Moonlight Potions and Charms. Come on in and sit for a spell. I am your amazing goddess host, Miss Nikki Kirby, and we are joined by the fabulous, the elusive Saul Ravencraft. How you doing, Saul?
I am fantastic, Nikki. How are you today?
I am great.
It's a good time. It's an interesting time. What's going on?
It always is an interesting time. 2023 has really kind of started out really, really well. I tell you that much. I am able to now sleep on my stomach.
Oh, how wonderful.
Awesome. And I got a haircut. Yay!
Well, there you go. Finally. I knew you were looking forward to that. Of course, with your head coverings, you always look the same to us, but
oh my God. My hair, when I combed it down, I looked like Cousin It. And then when I had to comb it up to put on my spiritual head dressings, I looked like Medusa.
Oh,
I swear it was one or the other. And when they were able to finally cut my hair last week, I was like, oh, this feels so absolutely fabulous.
Very nice.
Now I feel wonderful.
Absolutely. It's interesting, our time with Alan O'Connor last week, talking about the astrology of the year and all that, really got me digging in the numbers a little bit, and getting into that idea of what a 7 means for this year. And it's funny because last year was, we thought we were doing the deep dive last year. Mm-hmm. But we were really just circling the wagons, and trying to create that safe space at home for ourselves and our family and what we needed. And I think that in the 7 years, 7s are the deep dives. 7 is even though it doesn't line up with the number of the card, but the Hermit is really what you're looking at with 7 energy. 7s become priests and scientists and witches and wizards, and ask the inconvenient questions and realize that what is known cannot be unknown. And I think that that's really what's going to happen. Is we're gonna have a lot of people, now that they've circled those wagons a little bit and given some thought to what really matters to them, are going to sit down and go, what the actual hell? And and start to process that as to how they connect with their path and the world and all of that. And I think there's going to be a little panic. I think those that believe that they are in charge and know how they maintain their control, they're going to do what they can using the old tricks. I don't think it's going to work the same way that it did before. There was a time where you could just take someone who was on the edge of being obedient, and you go, well, I can make sure you don't have a job, so you do what you're told. And people go, oh, please don't hurt me, don't throw me out there. And I think now people are going to get more into that mode of, what are you going to do, fire me? and they're not so worried. I think they're on the edge now, but they're going to get to the point where they're not worried about being taken care of. They're going to start to realize they have a lot more control over that than they thought. And it's going to be interesting to see how all that plays out. I feel like people are going to come more into their own power. But the people that think you can fix anything by just waving money at it are in for a rude awakening.
Mm.
And I'm just, it was fun that Alan got me thinking about that more, and I've been preaching it ever since. So
Well, on Facebook, it had me yesterday to look at some of my memories. And one of the memories that came up, because I happened to be born in the year of the dragon, and it said that 2022, I was going to come into one of my dreams was going to come true. And of course, having the hysterectomy was one of my dreams of being
right.
able to be without pain and so forth. And yeah, that did come true last year. And so this year, I still have one more surgery to go through. And, you know, I haven't really done a whole lot of looking, a whole lot of divination for this year quite yet, because I'm still catching up with everything. And this is supposed to be the year of the rabbit, which is supposed to be lucky, supposedly. Which I don't think is really lucky for the rabbit most of the time. I'm sorry. It's just poor little bunny. I still think of Thumper every time I see that, you know.
Aw.
Yeah, Thumper was always my favorite, and Bambi. You know, he was just such a cute one. But you know, I'm really looking forward to things, and I really do see that, because I'm seeing all of the in certain parties, I'm seeing all of the what do you call it, the disconnect, and in certain parties I'm seeing a lot of people not taking the same crap anymore, and and I'm having fun with it.
I think that's what you have to do.
Laughing.
Yeah.
I'm laughing my butt off. It's so damn funny. Okay, I'm having fun.
Oh, if only you could laugh your butt off. Wouldn't that?
Yeah, that would
There's
be the
something you
easiest
could
way for
sell.
women to lose weight. You know, because women have a harder time losing weight than men. All men have to do is stop drinking soft drinks, and they will lose 50 pounds. But women, because we carry water weight, it takes us a lot more to lose it than it does men, which really fucking sucks. Okay, I'm sorry. It just does. It does. It takes us a lot more, because we have to do a lot more exercise. We have to watch what we eat a lot more, and plus, of course, you got the social media. You got all that other stuff. People telling you, you're too fat. Well, it depends on the culture. Some cultures, women have to be more weight. They say, "Oh, you're not fat enough," or you're too, or you're not skinny enough. It's like one or the other. I'm like, people, just leave us the hell alone. So, all right. So with Evermoving We Rise, we are coming back on January 29th at 8 p.m. And we've got a really, really good ritual that we're going to do. Me and a couple priestesses of mine, we are going to do what is called the 3 Faces of Bridget. And so we're going to have a ritual, and we're going to show you Bridget's journey from her being the goddess Bridget to Saint Bridget to Mama Bridget. And it's going to be a very fascinating ritual. And so we are really, really looking forward to being able to do that for you. So make sure that you go down to our Facebook page and get to our event page, and you'll be able to see all of that information from there. So for Moonlight Potions and Charms, we are an Etsy, yes, once again, an Etsy star seller for January. Which means we have excellent products, we have excellent service, and we have fast shipping. So, oh God, with our Etsy store, it's just seems like we're just boom, 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 you know, all kinds of stuff. And so to celebrate Mama Bridget and Goddess Bridget, we are having a sale on select items. So if you enter the word MBulk 2023, you will get 10% off. And we have some new items. One of our new items are our Mystery Bridget spell kit. And those spell kits, you never know which spell kit you'll get. So there's several different types of kits that's with this. And each kit means something different. So that is really, really different. And it's really neat because I just go in there and I just pick out, I just reach in and grab it and ship it to you, and you don't know which one you're going to get. So it's going to be interesting which of the kits that you'll get when you order. So you can order several of the kits and be able to get each type of different ones. So be able to go in there and look at that. And there's so many other different new products that you may want to go and look at, as well as our readings and our coaching. You can also go onto our regular website and see what else that we have, because not everything is on our Etsy site. So make sure that you go onto our regular website and see what else we got there. So, Mr. Saul, I see that you have other wonderful announcements that you are going to make some appearances.
Yeah. January has ticked up a little bit. I've rearranged things at Curia Arcanum's House of Curiosities. Thursdays were fun to do, but a lot of people are working on Thursdays, and it was clear that I needed to be more available on Saturday and Sunday. And so we shifted that around. I'm going to be at Curia Arcanum's House of Curiosities in Austin every Saturday and Sunday that I can to do readings and magical whatnot. So definitely come in and visit me if you can. You'll love the shop, and hopefully you'll enjoy some time with me as well. I've also reconnected with a metaphysical fair that I was involved in several years ago, and it turned out they were able to bring me back in. So I'm going to be at the Spiritual Life Fair on January 28th, and that is at the Nature's Treasures Auditorium. If you're in the Austin area, Nature's Treasures is this amazing rock and crystal emporium, which is right next door to more modest rock shop. So if you like to get your crystals and stones more raw and work with them that way, then the rock shop's there. If you like to get them all prettied up and ready for you, then Nature's Treasures in there. Right in between those two is where the auditorium is. So I'll have a table there and would love to see everybody. I'm scrambling a little bit to get some things done for that. And then also I've got some private events that I'm doing that I wish I could invite you to, but I mention them only because it's stuff that I do and that's available to you if you want it. I'm going to be at an event in Houston, and that is going to be, I'm going to take people down the rabbit hole with some of my artifacts and intuition games and other things that get them to open their minds a little bit, hopefully. And I'm also doing a private house party. So these are all things that can be done, and I customize what I do. So if you want to create an unusual experience for people and just shift the ground underneath them a little bit, I love doing that stuff. Also, if you want to do some personal coaching or anything like that, divination. I've got my setup here with my two cameras where we can work with everything just like I'm sitting across from you. And if you really want to keep up with what's going on and get access to any of the special things, you can go to either my website, saulravencraft.com, or texasmojoman.com. Those are in the notes. And under contact, it says sign up, and you can get on the email list. I'm pretty gentle when it comes to emailing people, and I can let you in on some stuff that I don't necessarily mention to the public, only people that are connected with me. So that's stuff that's going on, and we'll see how it progresses. It was kind of fun. I was sitting out back smoking my hookah, and I had like 4 events just pop up back to back to back. And I love that. I love when that happens.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great way to spend 2023.
Smoking hookah?
Well, that and also having plenty of things to do without having to scramble so much.
All right. So, Saul, where else can you find Witch Hat Chats?
Well, we're in a lot of different places. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We have accounts on Instagram and Twitter, and we are also available audio only. Some people find it difficult to sit down and watch the show, but it's a great commute killer, and that's available on Spotify and Amazon Music and Apple Podcasts and other places where you may find your podcasts. You may find that where you're already looking, we're already there, and you can just subscribe and enjoy it. Even though this is done through video, we try and keep things pretty audible, and so you're able to keep track of things and listen to the show just as well as you could watch it. We don't recommend watching the show while you're driving, but the audio podcast is great for that. And if there's a place you'd like to get your podcasts and we are not there, let us know, and we'll see what we can do to get in there. We want to make it easy for you. So yeah, I love it. And same thing. If there's another place where you'd like to see the video, let us know. We're open-minded. We want to make it convenient. That's what we want to do.
Awesome. And of course, next weekend is Manifestasia 2023. Woohoo! Cannot wait.
Yes, indeed. I hear the dog's excited about it too.
Yes, the Hellhound approved.
No, that's good. Yes, man, it's coming up, and tickets are available. We have some fantastic sponsors, of course. Evermoving We Rise, Moonlight Potions and Charms, Weirdly Wonderful World of Saul Ravencraft, who regularly sponsor our program already. We're sponsors for Manifestasia as well. But we have some others to thank. Douglas Floyd, who really didn't want a commercial. He just wanted to support the cause, and we especially appreciate that. We have Victoria Mundae's Paranormal Activities, which are wonderful puzzle and activity books that are good for young and old alike, and everybody in between. And of course, Kitchen Witch Gourmet, who we visited with a little while back, immediately jumped on it. And I had some of her tea just this morning.
Yes,
very much.
Her teas are wonderful. And plus, she has a book out called Tea Magic.
Indeed, indeed. And if you go to witchhatchats.com, and then you'll see a spot to go to Manifestasia 2023, or just follow the link that you're going to see here during the show, then you'll be able to connect with those sponsors and see what they've got going on, as well as our presenters. You've got a great lineup of presenters for this, and I can't wait to hear them all, to see them all. And how did you bring these people together? How did you make this happen? How do you know these people? Why do you have such incredible connections?
Oh, because everybody loves me.
There you go.
It's the
There you
red
go.
hair. It's the fabulous red hair. See, people now, it wasn't always like this. See, people now understand that redheads are cool. See, so the world finally has catched up to understand redheads are cool.
They are.
Yes. So Byron Ballard she is amazing. Of course, she's my sister witch. And then we got Star Ravenhawk and Sin Elias, as well as Opal Luna, Rhonda Elaine, and Emma Kathryn.
And Emma's coming to us all the way from England.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. So we have got so many wonderful, wonderful, wonderful presenters. Right. And it's such a diverse group that we have doing all this social justice work. It's
yes,
just
indeed.
wonderful.
Yes, indeed. And the good thing is Emma doesn't have to get on an airplane to come be at this event. It's a virtual event. No one has to get on an airplane or in their car or even out of their pajamas. It's a totally virtual event going through Zoom, so it's easy to use. We're not using some funky version of everything. Regular Zoom will work, and you'll be able to fully participate in everything that's going on. The weekend pass is only $64.
That's right, because we got people coming from New York, New Orleans, Asheville, and Florida as well. So
I plan to just have some pizza rolls all set up and and just enjoy the day.
That's right. That's right. So make sure that you get your tickets because they're selling out quick. So get them.
We don't want you to miss it.
No, you don't want to miss this one. So, Mr. Saul, you want to know what our tea divination is?
You betcha.
All right. So our divination for today is, at any given time, you have the power to say, this is not how the story is going to end. And the one who said this was an author and artist. Her name is Christine Mason Miller. Ooh. So our wise one is going to explain what this means.
Well, this resonates a lot. People who follow the show know that one of my favorite authors is Terry Pratchett. Fantasy author, funny guy, interesting guy, deep guy. He was not a magical practitioner, wasn't really religious. From what I understand, he was kind of a flaming atheist. And yet he wrote some of the most profound ideas about spirituality and magic through the characters he created. And he had a few times where he referenced this idea about getting your story right, that you were writing your story, and you get your story right, you get your life right. And it's something that I've resonated with more and more as time goes on. The idea that I get to decide the character that I play in my life, and that I get to define a lot of that. And of course, if you aren't working magic, if you aren't doing things, if you aren't playing the part that you want to play in your own life, then all the power you might have wielded to create your journey gets to go to somebody else. Nature abhors a vacuum. Energy follows the path of least resistance. And if you're not making use of it, then someone that needs your energy for their stuff will just take it.
That's true.
Right? And it's not even something that they do on purpose. right? They don't go, oh, Nikki, you're not using that, so I'm gonna grab that off your plate. No, it's just floating around. The universe sort of takes it back and goes, well, she didn't want this. Who needs it?
Right.
And it goes to the person who asks. And I've had an interesting journey over the last many years where I went from sort of a stable corporate American kind of a thing to what the hell? And I've been through many different versions of who my character in this story might be. And I think I'm getting more and more to being the hero of my own story. There's a little bit of work I'm still working on. Still got to do some of that shadow work.
Yep, we do.
And it may be that never ends. That might actually be a thing. I think I've done a better and better job than I ever have of becoming the hero of my own story. It's tricky. It's tricky, but I think I am. And so you do get a say into the reality that is around you and what your place in it is. I wish people were more comfortable with being their own author.
Well, the thing about it is you are your own author. Nobody else is going to write your story for you. I mean, it is your life. It's not your mama's life. It's not your daddy's life. It's not your brother's. It's your life. And you're the one that has to live it. You know, the thing about it is, I mean, being part of the family, one side of my family, I'm the youngest. The other side of my family, I'm the middle child. And the side of the family that I'm the youngest, everybody wants to tell me what to do. This is how you should live your life. You should do this and this and this and this and this. And the thing about it is, nobody understands who I am because we're all different. And nobody wants to take the chance. They don't want to take the risk. And they don't understand the thrill or the satisfaction of being able to take the risk and living on my own terms and doing things the way I like it and being able to be happy the way I want to be happy. And that's the thing about it. You have to know what your definition of happiness is and what your definition of success is. Because it doesn't have to be the same definition as what your mom's or your dad's is. And it doesn't have to be, you have to be a millionaire in order to be happy. Or you have to have your own home in order to be happy, or you have to do this or that. It doesn't have to have a criteria. You have to define that. What is your success level? What do you think is successful for you? What causes you to be happy? Be your own hero or heroine, you know. That's me. Take control of your life. Your life is the ship. Be its captain, for God's sakes. Take control of it. Because nobody can.
Bear in mind that any story is a journey.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If there was a novel that talked about how somebody got out of bed on time and went to work and got everything done and bought their groceries and came home and went to bed, that's not a story.
And nobody would watch that movie either.
Right? The stories are about the adventure. The stories are about overcoming odds. The stories are about the transformation. And so if you don't currently have the things that you desire, then your story is about the journey to get there. And then also remember that many stories are about how people that thought they were going in this direction, but it turned out this was the right direction.
Right.
And so just remembering you are the hero of your own story, and that it's all about getting there from here. And it's not about judgment. I mean, we had one recently where a divination recently where we said, when you encounter something strange, go plot twist and move on, right? And this is exactly that kind of thing. But you have to have the mindset that this is a journey, and that you're not done yet. This is not how the story is going to end. It's how this chapter ends. The story continues.
Yeah.
You are the author. Especially if you work a little magic on it, as Byron would say.
Yep. And there is our lesson today on the wheel of morality. And with that, we are going to take a short break and listen to our wonderful, amazing sponsors, and we'll be right back with Witch Chat Chats. Have you wondered what spirituality is? Spirituality is limitless, as it does not contain any boundaries on beliefs or practices. Spirituality's most important component is personal experience, and allows one to explore it freely. Evermoving We Rise is a spiritual moving tradition, as our name is our lifestyle, because we are persistently rising and moving forward. We realize that everyone's spiritual journey is extremely personal, but more easily traveled with reinforcement. We'll teach you to become friends with your shadow, emerge your authentic self, and give you time and space to develop your own spirituality. And when situations bump back, you'll have the entire community behind you, as we are a magical family who work to sustain each other. Discover the benefits of working within a society dedicated to helping you grow on your personal path. Visit us on our website, Linktree, or Facebook page, and discover why we don't fit in the box. Behind the door, and ye should find the return of the Barebone Trio. See no evil, hear no evil, and speak no evil. Skeletons. This Barebone Trio reminds us not to take life too seriously, and shows us the sense of humor we all have. Each one crafted with specific details and are great for the Day of the Dead, your ancestor altar, Halloween, Samhain, Hecate, and the possibilities are limitless. And there is so much more in our wicked store to help you to embrace the power of your own magic. So come on in to Moonlight Potions and Charms at www.moonlightpotionscharms.com and discover the wicked things that ignite the magical passion in you.
Kitchen Witch Gourmet is a wonderful way to bring the magic of tea into your world. Kitchen Witch Gourmet is your resource for high-quality loose teas, herbal teas, black teas, green teas, and special blends. Need the perfect pot to brew your tea? Kitchen Witch Gourmet has teapots, infusers, and more accessories to make every brew a pleasure. Check out the Broom Closet for magical tools and custom art for your divine pleasure. Explore the Bath & Body collection for luxurious herbal baths and personal items that will cleanse and clear you head to toe. Join the Tea of the Month Club for a guided monthly tea experience delivered direct to your home or office. Kitchen Witch Gourmet has all you need to perfectly start your day, end your day, and enhance all the moments in between. Behold all the wonders at kitchenwitchgourmet.com.
Welcome back to Witch Hat Chats. I am Saul Ravencraft. I am here with Nikki, Kirby, and gosh, it's coming. It's coming next weekend. It's going to be here before we know it. And that is just nuts. But I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It's Manifestasia 2023, starting Saturday, January 21st. Can you believe it?
I cannot believe we're almost there. You know, it's just astonishing to me how quickly everything is just moving towards that. You know, it's just really, really amazing. It's like we've just started January 1st, and now it's almost to the 21st. It's just that quick. Whoa.
Absolutely. So I can't believe that people don't know what Manifestasia is, but this may be the first time someone's tuned in to the program. So how would you describe this event, Nikki?
Well, you know, Manifestasia basically came up as a way of being able to embrace your own power, is what it is. Because when it comes to a lot of people don't think that we are magical creatures. They want to separate the mundane from the magical. Oh my God, I hate that crap. I'm sorry, that's crap. That's all it is. It's 100% bullshit. That's all it is. 100% bullshit. 100% bull fucking shit is all it is. And you can't separate those because that's what you are. You are magical all the time. You're not magical just on the weekends. You're not magical when you're trying to do a spell. You're not magical on the holidays. You're magical all the time. And so with Manifestasia, what we do is we take the best of the best, we get them together, and that's really hard to get them all together. And they are the elders of the community, and they help teach you how to grasp that power and be able to manifest what you want to be able to do in your life. And this year, we're talking about social justice. Because last year we had that major overturn of Roe versus Wade. And I'm sorry, you know, the one thing that I always, and many of us women always thought that we had in stone was Roe versus Wade. And since that's been overturned, many women have died over this. And they have suffered needlessly over this. And doctors have watched their patients died, and then there's doctors who want to help, but they can't help, or they're afraid to help because they're going to be charged with a felony, or they're going to be charged with murder, or they're going to be threatened to lose not only their medical license, but they're going to have to go to jail and prison for the rest of their lives over something stupid, over helping a patient. And it's not only that, but then you have the Black Lives Matter. You have the elderly. You also have them, and the disabled as well. And then you have the ones that don't have the mainstream religions that are being picked on, like our community, for example. Take Star Ravenhawks. What is that? Witch Fest?
Witches Fest.
Witches Fest, what they did with Heart.
Mm-hmm.
We have that to deal with. We have all kinds of issues that we really need to put some magic behind to move into policy. And that is what we're going to be talking about at Manifestasia. It's how can we be able to do that, but how can we use our magic to help get this Congress, who can't seem to make up its mind, a certain party who can't seem to get its shit together, to make up its mind to move things into policy that actually helps instead of stops us from doing changes that actually will help the people to make progress instead of pushing us back into the Middle Ages. So that is what Manifestasia this year is going to be about.
And it's a virtual event, which means you can attend in your pajamas and participate in everything. Participating is a big thing as well. This year, we've asked all of our presenters, rather than just giving a talk, to make sure that it's interactive, make sure that there's something going on that people can get their hands on. And so you'll have the chance not just to listen and learn, but to participate in working this magic along with the presenter. And of course, we all know that when people work magic together, it compounds the effect. It sends it out there. So not only will you be learning things over the weekend, you'll be doing something. Actually be doing something and making a difference right there in the event. And I think that's really exciting. Our dear friend Byron Ballard, every time you talk to her about something, every time you whine about something, every time you complain about something, she goes, well, have you worked a little magic on that? And you go, no, not yet. And she just kind of raises her eyebrow and tilts her head and says, well, yeah, maybe you ought to. And that's the whole spirit of what we're doing. And also we've done our best to create lounges. We have lounges that are sponsored by our wonderful sponsors where you can just go and hang out. We're going to have our main room where the presentations are going on. But if you want to duck to the side with somebody and chit chat about stuff, you can duck into one of the lounge rooms. You're going to have a lot of freedom of movement of this. But it's all regular Zoom. We're using breakout rooms to create these, so you don't need fancy software. You don't even need a Zoom account, but you will need to register. You'll have to buy your ticket, and then you'll get a little registration link where you get your unique link to our event. So there's the little two-step process there, but it's not hard. And you'll be able to not only interact with the speakers in the speaker lounge where they hang out and talk to you individually, but you'll be able to interact with each other. So it's as close as we can do to a live event with people from all over the world.
Yep. And you can be able to interact with our speakers as well in the speaker lounge.
Right. In addition, all the sessions are going to be recorded. If you miss something or you want to review something, you're going to have access to that later on once we get everything edited down. That's going to be special too. So you can just be in the moment and I think that's also good, because if you if you need to step away to spend some time with someone and you're not able to actually be in one of the presentations, you'll be able to go back and pick that up. So you can make all of your choices. That's one of the things you can't do at a live event. You got to pick. Do I listen right now, or do I take advantage of this opportunity to connect with someone? And and how many times do we do that? We would go, oh, I'll talk to you after this thing, and we never do, because we miss the moment. We're trying to create the moments where people can get with who they need to. So I'm excited. I'm very excited about all this.
All right. Oh, who's that at the door?
Oh, let's take a look. Who is that at the door? It's Opal Luna.
Oh,
Merry meet, Miss Nikki. Merry meet, Saul. How are you?
Very glad to have you.
yeah.
Thanks.
Welcome,
I just
welcome.
thought I'd stop by. I'm getting ready for Manifestasia. I'm getting excited about it. I'm getting all my things together for my witch shop.
Oh, it looks awesome.
I'm so happy you picked social justice for this year's topic, because I work a lot of times with that topic when I'm doing my workshops. I teach knot magic, and I also use crocheting in my magic. So there's a lot of applications that we're going to talk about to either raise energy for things or banish things. We're going to do it all next weekend at Manifestasia. And the precise topic that I chose was the social injustice of clean water for all. Can you just imagine how much the human race as a whole would advance if everyone just had access to clean drinking water?
Right.
And it is only people's greed that keeps that from happening. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to use that focus in all of our spell work when we're doing some fiber magic at Manifestasia.
Now, one of the things that I think is tricky when you get into wanting to do something for social justice, when you want to do something for a cause where you can identify problem people, problem companies, problem organizations, and we instinctively go, well, we need to just take that out. We need to get rid of those people, get rid of those things. But the principle of polarity in the Kabbalion says the opposite always has to exist.
Yes.
You can't really eliminate things. As I got involved with haunted items and cursed items and things like that, I learned that every cursed item that you come across has a connection to a blessed item somewhere that is doing some good. And if your goal is to destroy that thing, you're going to have a side effect that you didn't intend. So my goal with that is to keep it safe and to keep it from doing harm.
Contain it.
Right. So when we get into things like the doing magic for social causes, to doing something about the greed, doing something about the harmful effects that are going on, how do we walk that tightrope and make sure that we do it in a way that is for the greater good and that we don't have unintended side effects because we're emotional and zealous about forcing the good on everybody?
Right. No, we want to coax the good out of everybody, not force it. I look at like a balance scale. I guess it's the Libra in me, right? I was born in October, so I got to stay balanced.
Me too.
And The scales have to be balanced. So on this side, we've got the hope, and on this side, we've got the greed. So where it's really a balancing act, because we can't just just get rid of all corporations, right? They're supplying our food for the most part right now, but we can try to show them that there's better ways that they can make a profit. I like to encourage people to vote with their dollars, and not so much get rid of the company that, not get rid of the company that is using those bad practices, but encourage the company that is. Companies aren't stupid. They'll because we've seen it. We've already seen it happen. People get all bent out of shape about trans fats. Next thing you know, there's no trans fats in your cookies anymore. People want recycling. So companies understand that. And sometimes they whitewash things, but they try, we get things just a little bit better. And using magic to put that intention out into the world causes you to find ways to help. Like if you do a not magic spell for fresh water, for clean water, then it might not be too long before you hear about a petition you can sign or a rally you can go to. And so you're just one step closer. I didn't hex anybody that's polluting water, but I encouraged the water to become clean. Mother Nature will take care of those things if people leave her alone.
Oh yeah.
So that's the kind of magic that I encourage. The magical encouragement to do better.
Right.
With me, it's a little different. I open up the back door. The back door basically allows the person, it comes back to them. So it's kind of like a mirror. If the person is doing good, then that good comes back to them. If the person decides, hey, I'm going to be a shit, the shit comes back to them. That's basically what it is. So that's what that back door is. So, and I mean, there's a lot of corporations now, and I see it on CBS. They do a lot of stories on them where, for example, there's ones that are trying to figure out how can we clean the air? How can we do things to clean the air as we're doing our products? How can we clean water and it be beneficial not only to us, but to the environment, to our customers, stuff like that. And they're doing a lot of good, and they're trying to help other companies as well. So it's a process. It's not catching on quite yet, but I mean, that's something that they're trying to do. Yeah. So when you're sitting here, it's not necessarily doing the encouragement. It's just opening up that mirror, which is also a back door. So that way it's not coming back to you. It's just opening up that back door to where, hey, if it's working, this is what I'm saying. If they're going to be doing this stuff, then this is going to happen. Mm-hmm. It's like one of those old computer programs. This is way back when I used to do computer programs. It's called an if-then statement. If XYZ is happening, then this. Mm-hmm. If it wasn't happening, then that. Right, right. You leave it alone, right?
My magical practice is Italian witchcraft. I'm strega, so I'm allowed to give it back twofold, double time. They can get what they're given twice over, and it does not come back to me because I am a radia. It is not only my right but my obligation to protect my own. So, I'm not squeamish about that. But you have to work with people, what's important to them. And, the bottom line is what's important to large corporations. So that's why I say vote with your dollars, spend the money where it's being used properly, and the others will catch on or they'll be out, then, and in effect, they will get what they're given, they'll get it. So.
Well, we're going to have to take a pause right now and listen to some words from our sponsors, but we will be right back. It'll be me and Miss Nikki and Opal, and who knows if anyone else will pop in. We'll see you on the other side of these important messages.
I'm Saul Ravencraft, co-host of Witch Hat Chats. I understand just how confusing and chaotic it can be to open to a path of magic and manifestation. Everything seems to turn on its head. I want to be an ally as you find the way upon your path. My studio setup will let us do readings, coaching, and exploration virtually, just as though you were sitting across the table from me. One size does not fit all, and we will work together to craft the right approaches to build your practice, your confidence, and your power using the tools of divination, magical works, and spirit connections. It's never too late to embrace a new path and emerge empowered. Go to TexasMojoMan.com and select Contact to begin. There's a message now. Let's get started working on your very good fortune.
Looking for something a little more witchy? There's no need to call the corners. The search is now over. Introducing The Awakening, a paranormal activity book, part of the Victoria Munday's Paranormal Activity series. A witchy activity book filled with paranormal and sacred geometry pages to color. A do-it-yourself grimoire, and a special 12-month manifestation calendar. Also from Victoria Mundae, a modern-day cyber grimoire, a magical book to keep track of passwords and websites. Find these books and more on Amazon.com and also at VictoriaMundae.com.
And welcome back to Witch Hat Chats. And Saul and I are talking with Opal, who just happened to drop in.
Which we appreciate. We really do.
Thank you.
One other thought occurred to me with what we were talking about earlier, Opal, and I'm curious
And
about
yes,
your take
he
on
had a
this.
thought, and there's no thunder.
Be nice.
That's scary.
So, one of the thoughts that occurred to me based on what we were talking about is the idea of greed, and greed being a problem. And greed is a problem, but a lot of things are driven by motivation. A lot of things are driven by the ability to better yourself. And I think some people get a little confused with all of this. And everything that I've seen, especially when we talk to Hoodoo and Voodoo practitioners and root workers and all of that kind of thing, is that it's you got to have skin in the game. Mm-hmm. You have to be willing to give to get. And so when we enter a society where we're at harmony with nature, where we're working our magic, we're not talking about everybody gets free stuff. Right? And I think that's a distinction that some people get confused about. I see you kind of nodding your head there, and I know as a Strega, you've got some specific thoughts on this kind of thing. So share.
Well, thank you. Yeah, there's no such thing as a free lunch. But I'll make you lunch, mangia. That's the Italian proverb. No, you have to be willing to take the action. In my workshops, when we're talking about social justice or social injustice, and I'm showing magical ways to encourage that goodness to happen, I will remind them the magic isn't finished until the action is taken. So you have to be willing to sign that petition, to show up at the rally, to throw a few dollars into the kitty. You know, you have to be willing to give, just like you said, to give in order to get. And you know, that it counterbalances the greed, because to me, greedy is when you just want without giving back, or right. You want at other people's expense. So, yeah, I agree with you 100% that if you take on the challenge of magic activism, then you have to be ready to walk the walk.
Well, you know, that's the way it is with any magic, and that's what the deities expect. I mean, you got deities like Ganesh and Papa Legba and Hecate, who take an interest in our community, and Bridget. Okay, they take an interest in our community, and basically, if you are going to do something for the community itself, you have to be a part of the community. You can't just sit there and say, hey, I want this to be done. Like, for example, you can't say, well, I'm sorry, but I would like to have people to have more food stamps for the children who are in the poverty level, and not do something to try to be a part of that, like donate more food to the shelters and stuff like that, or do something right. Like that, right? Or just right. Sit there in your high society or wherever you're at and do nothing. You can't say they should clean up the ocean, but then you go to the beach and throw your plastic bottle on the bingo.
Beach.
Right.
You know, you got to practice what you preach, basically. Bingo.
And even when we do reach a state where there is clean water for everybody, that doesn't mean that you just get to lay around at home while some magic person comes and delivers bottles of clean water for you. You know, you're going to have to participate. There's going to have to be a system. So it never becomes free. You're going to have to put some resource into maintaining it, whether it's your toil and labor or your money or some other kind of investment in keeping it all going. And I think that's something that people confuse when we talk about the idea of having these things handled properly by society. Well, who's going to pay for that? Well, we all pay for that in some way. And that's something that again, talking about that idea of not eliminating things. I mean, it would be lovely if we could all just sit around and snap our fingers and everything we needed just appeared. But so far, I've not experienced anything like that. How about y'all?
We're not even close to replicator technology yet. we still have to grow food and pump water, and the way that society is set up now, a few people do it for many, and that's the whole factory farming thing that we've gotten into that has caused a lot of the problems. Is that you've got just a small percentage of the population feeding everybody else. You might decide to get involved in a community garden. I work with one here in Davie, the community caring, and we grow food and give it to the homeless shelter. So there's projects like that everywhere, and if there's not one near you, start one. So there's lots of things that people could do to offset that balance of the greed and the hope. You got to keep it right. Little more hope, please. There's always another generation of greed coming right behind it. We want to think that the worst of it is, over the hill and will soon be dead, but there's always a new generation right behind them, unfortunately. So we can't stop. I think if you look back through history, the main job of the witch has always been activism, from Aradia to, back, whatever the need was at the time. A group would come up and teach the folks, just the regular folks, how to deal with it. It might have been religious persecution or what have you. Right now, we've got environmental persecution. Mother Gaia is under attack. And so it makes sense that these movements like Starhawks, and Selena Fox would come up and offer alternatives for us. And as witches, then we should carry our weight. Mm-hmm. Whatever that means for you. We could all do our part.
Right.
Doesn't mean you have to live off the grid.
God.
It means that you act responsibly, because that's what I think that the whole essence of the witch's read is to take responsibility for your own actions.
Well, I mean, everybody should. It's just like, for example, when you're not using a lamp or a light, turn the thing off.
Exactly.
You have heat in the house, close the door, close the window. Okay. Same thing with air conditioning. You're not air conditioning the entire state. Okay. Close the door, close the window. Duh. I encourage in my shop, all my products, recycle what you can, compost what you can. Do all of that. It's basically what I do. I recycle what I can. I compost what I can. Everything do that. And I mean, there's ways of being able to do that. Like, for example, the last of my candles, the pictures, my designs, you can always be able to clean that glass out and use that design as a vase. You can put that back onto your altar or anywhere in your house. Use that as a vase to be able to honor that deity, whatever else you want to be able to do with it. There's other kinds of ways of being able to do it with everything. I do that all the time. So it's very, very simple. You don't have to pour and food. Food is something I really, really hate to go to waste. I hate it when it goes to waste. It just drives me nuts.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to pour the entire bottle of ketchup all over your freaking fries. Okay? You don't have to. And the same thing with salad dressing. You don't have to drown your salad in the dressing. Okay? It doesn't need that. That's disgusting, people. All right? Be sensible.
It all comes down to living mindfully and living a magical life where you don't separate the magic from the mundane.
You can't. I'm sorry.
It's just a way of life.
It drives me nuts.
It boggles the mind, doesn't it, Miss Nikki? I mean, it's
it's that charm mindset, and that's based off of Christianity. There's no such thing as magic. You use magic all the time, you idiot. When you wake up, your brain is constantly full of magic because it uses all these little electric things to try and wake your eyes up to, just to wake up. That's magic, you idiot. What the hell? Oh, man.
I see you very passionate. Manifestation is going to be fun.
But I think it's going to foster this kind of attitude. I love what you said, Opal, about we got to get away from the they mentality. And I think that's true overall.
Right.
That's a struggle. We've got so many different ways that we are dividing people by political party, by spiritual perspective, and all of that kind of thing. And it does create this them. And as long as you've got a them, then you don't have to really do anything.
Right.
They got to get their shit together.
Right. So that I'll be fine.
That's right. And I think when we fully understand that they are us, and that there's got to be a way that we can combine, where we can harmonize with people, even people that are very different from us. Everybody gets to exist.
Yes.
And you can't, on the one hand, say, well, this group of oppressed people, they need to be able to be free to be who they are. And so those people need to die. Right? Those people need to be shut away somewhere. They need to be,
it's always, it's fine to disagree with people, but when you think they shouldn't exist because you don't agree with them, you've taken it too far.
Yeah.
Change the channel.
And what's the difference between you and them at that point?
Right. Nothing. Folks who think that one religion or one government should rule the whole earth. Well, what if that wasn't the one you chose?
Yeah.
Oh, that would be wrong. Well,
right. Well, and I think it's funny that people that have that kind of attitude always assume that it's going to go their way. That if there was some body that was set up that judged and made sure everyone was doing what was supposed to happen, that they would look at you and go, well, you're doing everything just fine. Here's a promotion. What if that body goes, no, you're not quite making the mark. So we're going to.
Funny, sometimes the people that feel that way, you look at them and you're like, I don't think you'd be this group's first choice. You don't even meet all the criteria.
Right.
Right.
Be careful what you ask for. You might get it.
Well, we've got a historical example of that in the French Revolution. At first, there were some pretty nefarious people that were being dealt with. And then once they ran out of them, we got this guillotine handy.
Exactly.
It seems a shame to waste it.
Well, this guy's not so good either. And that guy has
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, you're right.
And I think that's one of the hardest things to wrap your head around when you go down this path and you start to open yourself to the idea of gods, goddesses, and other beings and other perspectives and other possibilities. Is ideally what it should do is one, it should empower you by realizing that you don't have to follow any one particular approach because there are so many of them. But at the same time, it should also give you a good deal of humility because you recognize what a small piece you are of the greater existence. And it should give you a certain amount of modesty.
Yeah. We watched an animated feature the other day called Strange World. And it was so interesting, the concept, the philosophy of the thing. It reminded me of when I was younger and I used to hang out at the mall. And I would watch all the people moving in and out of the stores. And it reminded me of like cells, like protons and electrons and walking in and out and interacting with each other. And that's that woo-woo where you think, what if we're just a molecule in something bigger, And this show, this little movie kind of brings that home. If I don't want to spoil it for you if anybody wants to watch it, but I highly recommend it. It really will make you think about what we're doing to our mother Gaia. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, my cat has come to say hello. Hi, Logan.
Oh, there we go.
There's that pretty cat.
That's very special.
All right. And with that, we are going to take a quick break and have these wonderful messages. And then we'll be right back with Witch Chat Chats. The witching hour is here and new magical products arrive at Moonlight Potions and Charms. And what appears during the magical hour? Our mysterious triple goddess Hecate key necklace comes in 2 sizes, perfectly aligned with her will so her devotees can find their way through the darkness. The handsome hand of God statues believed to be protective talismans of luck, fertility, abundance, and good health come in black or white. One of the best ways to bring your ancestors with you no matter where you go is our traveling ancestor altar on the go. They come in 3 sizes, small, medium, and large. Perfect for all of your needs. They include candles, an oil, a toy for the little ones who passed on, and so much more to honor your beloved dead. And our Papa Legba key necklace are perfect for the devotees of the King of the Crossroads. Comes in 2 sizes, each one specifically prayed over and dedicated to Papa Legba himself. And appearing for the first time, Baron Sam D and Mama Bridget, Altar on the Go limited edition. Yes, you can take your altar to the cemetery with you. How cool is that? The traveling altar is complete with top hats, coffin nails, a cross from Mama Bridget, and so much more with room for you to add your own items. So show Baron Sam D and Mama Bridget the altar perfect for them. And don't forget our Barebone Trio, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil, skeletons have returned. There is so much more in our wicked store to help you to embrace the power of your own magic. So come on in to Moonlight Potions and Charms at www.moonlightpotionscharms.com and discover the wicked things that ignite the magical passion in you. Anybody can tell you what is on a tarot or oracle card. What matters is seeing beyond what others may not be able to see and help the client to uncover what lies in the mist. What do readings from Moonlight Potions and Charms do? Wednesday I did this ancestor reading, and it was an amazing reading, and it was a detailed reading. And I remember talking to this customer's ancestors, and it was so delightful, and he wanted some questions to be answered about the magic in his family because he didn't know. And his family was mostly like most of our families are. You know how everything is like hush hush when it comes to the magic in his family. And he wanted to know who can he actually talk to about the history of the magic in his family. And I was able to give him specifically who he can go to talk to about that. What particular deity he can actually go to be able to help him with this. And it was just an amazing reading, and talking to his ancestors. They were such a delight, and they told me so much about this customer. It was just an absolutely wonderful, wonderful reading for him. And I was just so happy to be able to give him this wonderful reading. It's really amazing to be able to give people these readings, these products that's really going to help them, and be able to give back to the community, because this is what Moonlight Potions and Charms is about. We want to help you to embrace the power of your own magic. That is what we are all about. It's to help you to do that. Book now and allow our wonderful staff to take care of your spiritual reading needs. And there is so much more in our wicked store to help you to embrace the power of your own magic. So come on in to Moonlight Potions and Charms at www.moonlightpotionscharms.com and discover the wicked things that ignite the magical passion in you.
Welcome back to Witch Hat Chat. Saul Ravencraft here with Miss Nikki, Kirby, and of course, our friend who dropped in, Opal Luna. Gosh, Manifestasia, it's going to be here. By this time next week, we will be getting toward the end of Manifestasia 2023. It is so hard to imagine that, but we'll be in the middle of the end by that point. I am so excited. I really am. In fact, people may be watching Opal Luna doing her witch shop this time next week.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm not sure where the schedule is, but it might be right in the middle of you there.
Absolutely.
So, witch shop is kind of an odd thing. I know that it was Nikki's baby. So I'm interested, Nikki, why don't you tell us a little bit about why you thought of the witch shop? And then maybe Opal can tell us a little bit about what she's doing with that.
Sure.
Well, everybody says workshop, and when you say workshop, it's like, oh God, that's so boring.
There's work.
I mean, you got the 4-letter word, work. That's so boring. That's a boring word. That's one of those 4-letter words that should never be said. You know,
Right.
that's not a wonderful 4-letter words like shit. Shit's a really good 4-letter word. You know, that should be said.
But cake is a 4-letter word.
Cake. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good word. That's a good word.
Pies is a
Pie
4-letter
is-
word. Not just pie, pies.
Pie. Yeah, that's a 4-letter word.
Yeah, that's a 4-letter word.
So when you put witch and you say witch shop, that sounds a lot better. That sounds, that's going to be something magical. That's going to be something fun. So let's put witch shop in front of it. And that sounds like that's going to be a little bit more interesting. Ooh, that's going to be fun. So that's the reason why I said witch shop instead of workshop. A little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining.
Right? But then you put a little bit more on that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So that way people can be able to come and they can actually do something with their hands instead of just sitting there and listening all the time. Because I know I have been to so many lectures, and it's okay. I love lectures and I love listening to our elders and people who have done things that I haven't done and listening to new ideas. But I also like to be able to do something at the same time, you know, be able to pick something up, especially if they're explaining how they do a certain spell or how they're constructing this thing. And I'm like, ooh, they're going to get things. Let's put together. Oh, let's put this together. Yeah. So that way, as they're explaining it, I can be able to do it too. So that's the reason why I'm like, oh, witch shop. We ought to have those in high school.
I love it. Because I agree with you. I've been to a lot of events and activities where you just basically sat and let everybody else do the thing. And it is nice to have something that is participatory. Because I think I learned better by doing. I'm probably not the only one.
Right. And there's a lot of people like that.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that have my crochet bag with me all the time. I think Miss Nikki can attest to that. I'll sit there and crochet during anybody's lecture. I'm listening, but I need something to do with my hands so that I can pay better attention. Some people are like that.
Right.
Yeah, Byron's like that too. She's got to have something to do with her hands.
Yeah. Yeah. Creative people. She's a very creative person.
So in my workshop, we're going to be calling upon Mama Bridget and how we can connect with her as we're doing social justice work. And she is a badass. I love her to death. We're going to be using jar magic as we're going to be doing this. So it's going to be a lot of fun. You're going to learn so much about her and about her connections to the goddess Bridget and how she came to be. And so I am really looking forward to it in Manifestasia and in my witch shop. Yay! The witch shop, we're going to be doing witchy stuff and magical stuff. So I'm kind of really looking forward to that because it's something in which you can be able to connect with her on virtually any type of social justice issue. And it's one of those things that she's very, very protective of her followers. And she's very great about the healing. And because she's done a lot for me, especially when it came to healing me as far as my surgery has gone. And we've had a very, very good journey since my surgery. So you'll be able to hear all about that in my witches shop. So stay tuned for that and Manifestasia. And so I know that Miss Opal is going to have a surprise for you. Maybe Carl is going to be dancing, kind of naked in the background.
What?
Maybe he's going to be dancing in his kilt, and his kilt's going to kind of slip off. Maybe that's going to happen.
Maybe not.
Or maybe it's going to slip down and then it's going to be.
You're just going to have to tune in. You buy your tickets and you take your chances, right? You're going to have to tune in. You're going to have to come on Manifestasia and see what happens. Oh, my goodness. But I can guarantee that we're going to do some knot magic. Okay, some good old-fashioned knot work, but we're going to give it that fiber magic flair with the use of oils and cinnamon. That's like my go-to, cinnamon. You can do anything with cinnamon. And really, to play along with us, you just need some pieces of cotton cord, and we're going to do a basic witch's ladder. Going to do a Gordian knot and a Hercules knot. We have spells to go with each of those different types of knots. And the gist of it will be the focus on clean water for all, but it will be skills that you can learn and then use in your magical practice, no matter what modality that you enjoy. You can add a little knot magic to enhance your magical practice. So I'm looking forward to sharing that with you. It's something that I do regularly and is part of my fiber magic crochet path, my spiritual path for the crafter. So I'm hoping to get a lot of crafters and then crafts people that could be craftier and crafters that could be crafts people. Because I'm all about the balance. I have to tell you. Get your big C and your little c all balanced out for manifestation.
Oh, but we really appreciate you stopping by. Look forward to seeing you next weekend and working magic with you.
Oh, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me. And I'm really looking forward to seeing everyone there. And being able to hang out and actually talk to people afterwards. That's a great feature.
Mm-hmm.
So anybody coming to Manifestasia, start thinking about stuff we can chat about. I'm there.
Yes,
right.
Because Opal loves to talk.
No.
I am so glad she stopped by. She is so much fun.
She is. She is awesome. All right. Oh.
Well, let's remind people how to get access to Manifestasia. $64 is your all access pass for the weekend. And all you got to do is go to witchhatchats.com. Up in the right-hand corner, or however it shows up on your screen, you'll see a spot that says Manifestasia 2023. You click there, you can see all of our speakers there, get a little bit of an idea of what to look forward to. You can see our sponsors there as well. And most importantly, you can buy a ticket. And you just click on that. And if you still want to be a sponsor, we'll still take you. There's a place where you can sign up to be a sponsor, give a little more to help the event go smoothly, and you get a weekend pass as part of your sponsorship, and get a chance to let people know that you support Witch Hat Chats. Even if for whatever reason you don't think you're going to make it, or there's other stuff that is a complication for you, there's also a donate button there. And if you want to just make a contribution to help us continue bringing Witch Hat Chats to you at the quality that we want to, then you can just click that little button and send us a little. We're grateful for everybody who is participating. Our speakers who are coming in and giving of their time and their minds to bring this stuff to you, our sponsors who believe in this, and the people who participate. It's us. They are us, and we're going to make something happen. I'm so excited. Thank you for making this go, Nikki. I really appreciate what you've done to help bring the community together and to make this something unique for people that are trying to grow and make a difference, because we can.
Yes, we can. And, you know, it's the community that really, really has brought all of this together. And we want to continue to be able to serve the community and bring this education to not only to this community, but to everyone else. Because unless we have this education out there, nobody's really going to know what we actually do. And nobody is really going to understand us. And we really need people to understand who we are instead of being afraid that we're going to eat people's children again.
Right.
Damn, we don't do that anymore. Damn. Oh, well. Anyway.
Nikki, you're not helping.
And your little doggy too. Okay. I wouldn't hurt a doggy. I wouldn't hurt an animal. I got my own puppy right here. She's so sweet. Trust me. All right. So anyway. So that's all for our show today. Saul and I will be at Manifestasia 2023 next week. So we hope to see everybody there. So you know where to get your tickets at, because we've been telling you where to get your tickets at. We also have it in the summary. So join us in 2 weeks when Saul and I will be chatting about Imbolc. Oh my God, Imbolc's already come. Man. So embrace your power, support your community, keep your fuzzy babies, your family, friends, and yourself safe, and have an absolute magical week.
I know some people who like to chat. I think they're witches, how about that? And every Sunday at 12 o'clock. And if you're hurting, they're willing to talk. Nikki Kirby with that black stone. I agree, Evermoving We Rise. Life and soul will the beautiful mind. I give you blessings under moonlight. I know some people who like to chat. I think they're witches, how about that? And every Sunday at 12 o'clock. And if you're hurting, they're willing to talk.